This is the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, and this is the upcoming iPhone 17 Air. These are both some of the first phones in the world to be part of this new trend of making phones as thin as possible. The S25 Edge comes out on the 30th of May, while the iPhone 17 Air isn't expected until September. So while the S25 Edge that I'm using here is a full release unit, the iPhone 17 Air here is a non-functional dumb unit, just to give you guys an idea of how the two would compare from mostly a dimension standpoint. Also, if you're looking to pre-order the S25 Edge, we've got some exclusive offers linked down below. I've got these 8 major things to compare, but first, we gotta talk about the thickness, which is really the main reason why you would even consider getting any of these two. And here, the S25 Edge is ever so slightly thinner, at 5.8mm compared to our iPhone 17 Air dumb unit, which measures in at 5.9. Although, holding both in the hand, to me the iPhone 17 Air actually feels thinner, because of its slightly curvier frame, which on the S25 Edge is flatter. Now, if I compare the S25 Edge to the S25 Ultra, you'll see that there is indeed a significant difference in thickness, from 8.2mm down to 5.8. That's 29% slimmer. Compared to the standard S25, we go down from 7.2mm to 5.8, which is 19% thinner. Not that big of a difference, but still noticeable. Which brings me to the overall design differences. Again, our iPhone 17 Air here is just a dummy unit, so the final design will be more polished, but for the most part, this is what we're expecting to see. A single camera module surrounded by this fairly big rectangular camera island. Whereas on the S25 Edge, we get a more squared off design, with a dual camera module on the back that does resemble the design of the Z Fold 6's camera island, just with 2 modules instead of 3. Now, the S25 Edge does have a titanium frame, whereas the iPhone 17 Air is said to be using a mix of titanium and aluminium. So the 17 Air may be a bit lighter when it launches. The S25 Edge weighs 163 grams, which is still fairly light, although the standard S25 is actually lighter by 1 gram. As for the colors, we get titanium silver, titanium jet black, and titanium icy blue on the S25 Edge, with the blue looking very white to my eyes, so the black is definitely my choice here. Although it too has a tint of blue to it, kind of like midnight blue if anything. As for the iPhone 17 Air, we don't yet know the colors of it. And with the S25 Edge, Samsung now uses a new type of back glass called Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2. Corning's latest smartphone glass, which is more durable and thinner than ever before. So this should be more durable than the iPhone 17 Air's standard back glass. Which brings me to the display differences. The biggest one here is the size, with the S25 Edge having a slightly larger 6.7-inch display as opposed to the 6.6-inch on the iPhone 17 Air. The good news is that they both have a 120Hz refresh rate, although the S25 Edge is likely going to be brighter outdoors, as it uses the exact same panel as the S25 Ultra, maxing out at 2600 nits of brightness. Although, unlike the S25 Ultra, we do not have that anti-glare coating, which I think is a bit of a shame. We don't yet know the panel that Apple would be using on the iPhone 17 Air, but even if they were to use the same one as on the iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max, those max out at 2000 nits outdoors, reason why I do expect the Edge to be the brighter of the two. Now, if you do want to make their displays truly pop, there's no better way to do it than with our app, Wallpapers. And that's because all of our wallpapers are 8K in resolution, so they will look incredible on your smartphone, tablet, or even on your desktop. We release 2 new packs each week, and our latest May packs are some of my favorite ones yet. First, we've got Metro Mirage by our designer Hanin, an abstract pack with these super cool geometrical shapes. Very classy. And then we've got Sundown Stories by our new designer Mahim, with these stunning sunset-style wallpapers. You can get the first wallpaper from each pack for free by downloading Wallpapers from the App Store or Play Store. Which brings me to their camera. And this is really the biggest difference between the two. The 17 Air comes with just a single camera module in the back, which is rumored to be a 48 megapixel sensor. Now, Apple does have 3 48 megapixel sensors. The one in the 16 Pro and Pro Max, which is the biggest, followed by the one in the 16 and 16 Plus, and then the one inside the 16E, which is the smallest. We don't yet know which 48 megapixel sensor Apple would be using here, although I would guess that this would be the mid-tier iPhone 16 sensor. The S25 Edge, on the other hand, uses the same 200 megapixel main sensor as the S25 Ultra, so no downgrades here at all. On top of this, we also get a 12 megapixel ultra-wide module, the same one as in the standard S25 and S25 Plus, which does support macro photography, something that's entirely lacking on the iPhone 17 Air. It is a shame that none of them have a dedicated telephoto, although you do get a 2x sensor crop zoom on both. With the S25 Edge, I was able able to zoom in up to 10x, although the quality here was not great. Now, I do expect the same 10x maximum digital zoom on the iPhone 17 Air as well, and that's because on the iPhone 16e, that's the maximum as well, and that also comes with one single camera module. Although I would expect the S25 Edge to still have the superior digital zoom here, due to the much higher resolution sensor. However, while the S25 Edge does have the superior back camera, or cameras should I say, the front camera may be superior on the iPhone 17 Air, as we are expected to see a brand new 24 megapixel sensor here, as opposed to the 12 megapixel sensor that we get on the S25 Edge. Which brings me to their performance, where both are set to have the same chip as their highest end siblings. For the S25 Edge, that's confirmed to be the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy with 12 gigs of RAM, whereas the iPhone 17 Air is rumored to come with the brand new Apple A19 chip with also 12 gigs of RAM. Now, the iPhone 17 Pros are set to come with the Apple A19 Pro chip, so it does seem that the S25 Edge is closer to the S25 Ultra, whereas the iPhone 17 Air is closer to the base iPhone 17 than the iPhone 17 Pro. But really, performance-wise, I don't expect any difference when using either of these, especially with 120Hz on both. The bigger difference may just be in AAA games, something that the iPhone 17 Air will support if that's something that you want to play on your phone. And this brings me to their battery, probably the main reason why you may not even consider getting any of them, as yes, they both feature a significantly smaller battery than their higher-end siblings. The S25 Edge, for example, features a 3900 mAh battery, a fairly major downgrade from the S25 Ultra's 5000 mAh battery. We don't yet know the capacity of the iPhone 17 Air's battery yet, but it will definitely be worse than the other iPhone models. But Apple apparently even working on a new battery case specifically for the iPhone 17 Air. But probably the most important thing to mention here is that while the iPhone 17 Air is rumored to be using the new silicon carbon battery tech, the S25 Edge actually isn't, which is something that surprised me quite a lot, as this was supposed to be using the cutting edge technology based on Samsung's teaser and hence its name. For example, the TechnoSpark Slim, which I saw at MWC this year, has a thickness of 5.75 millimeters, so thinner than both. However, that one was actually using silicon carbon battery tech, so it had a massive 5200 mAh battery, which was even bigger than the one inside the S25 Ultra. I don't expect the iPhone 17 Air to have anything crazy like that, but if it will be using silicon carbon batteries, like in the leaks, then I'm fairly certain that it will have a larger battery than what the S25 Edge offers. But of course, we'll know for sure in September. As for charging, the S25 Edge offers 25-watt wire charging for 53% in 30 minutes and 15-watt wireless charging, whereas the iPhone 17 Air is rumored to support 35-watt wired and 25-watt wireless with MagSafe. Which brings me to features, where both have the same set of features as their higher-end versions. This means full-on Apple Intelligence on the iPhone 17 Air and full-on Galaxy AI on the S25 Edge. So really, the only things that you're downgrading on, aside from the battery and the cameras, are probably the speakers. I didn't get a chance to listen to the speakers on, of course, either of them, but given that they're both slimmer, it is likely that they're not quite as good as on the more expensive models, which, of course, brings me to the price. The S25 Ultra will retail for $1099 here in the UK, and that's for the base 256GB version. Now, if you pre-order using the link below, you can actually get the 512GB version for the same price, as well as extra exclusive discounts and deals. The iPhone 17 Air is rumored to be more expensive than the iPhone 16 Plus, which costs $900, but less than the iPhone 16 Pro, which costs $1,000. So $949 would be my guess here, and if that's the case, you may want to go for the iPhone 17 Air for £150 less. Yes, you do sacrifice big time on the camera, but you may actually get a slightly better battery life. Of course, the final decision should come down to what devices you already have, and if you prefer Apple's or Samsung's ecosystem. At the end of the day, they both have their own compromises, so I would definitely love to know if you would actually pick any of them over a Pro or an Ultra, or if you just don't want to trade off the battery life and the camera quality for some extra millimeters of thickness. So let me know down below, and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos on any of these super thin phones. I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.